going on, everybody? Welcome to the RBS Cinema Podcast.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
This is Sparta! I'm thinking I'm back.
Why so serious?
Avengers!
Assemble. I'm Batman.
You better lawyer up, asshole. Because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
I'll be back.
You shall not pass!
RBS.
Lovely.
Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of RBS Cinema. Go ahead and sit on down. We're going to talk about...
I'm already sitting down, Devin.
I forgot what it was. Brightburn! The dark universe, if you will, of Superman if he was a child movie. So, but before we talk about that, I'm your host, Devin. With me, as always, is co-host Jack.
I'm still Jack.
So, if you're new to the show, what we do is we will talk about more in depth about the movie, specifically of what it's about, what it entails, writer, director, stars, all that boring stuff, and then talk about more in depth about what we feel about the movie and what we liked, and then after that we will give a consensus on this being a rent, buy, or a skip, and then talk about suggested people. So with that also being said, thank you everybody so much for watching, listening, tuning in, and how you guys are doing it. Really appreciate you being here, and really appreciate if you were to subscribe to the channel, both on YouTube, Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts. Do all the good stuff, like, share, subscribe, suggest a movie if you guys want us to talk about it. It'd be awesome. And that's about it. Otherwise, let's kick off with watch list.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Sure.
So, don't really think this will be that long of an episode, but we've said that before.
Yeah.
And it's always turned out to be like 30-minute discussion of what we've watched, and then like literally another hour of the movie. So
I'll we'll try to keep this short. No promises though.
Yeah. But like it's an hour and a half long movie. So it's not a whole lot that happens in this movie, really. So
yeah, it's a very simple premise, Brightburn. So
yeah.
we'll get into that
right
a little bit. So
well, I have 3 movies.
I think I have like
10.
3 as well. Pretty sure.
Question mark.
Again, it's I have to think back. Maybe I'll think of another one as I'm talking about my 2. But go ahead.
So first up on my list, I have Iron Lung.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this.
So and it was okay. It was decent. The only thing that I could say about it is that it was definitely interesting. It has Markiplier, who
Mr. Iplier
basically made the movie.
What's his last name?
Fishbach.
Fishbach, yeah, right.
Yeah. And when they do the actual like credits and stuff like that, like writer, director, star, all that stuff, like it doesn't feature his whole name. It just says Markiplier. But it's probably just because of the fact that everybody knows him as Markiplier.
I guess,
not Mark Fishbach.
Maybe it's just like a personal choice, but like
maybe because I mean, like Markiplier is his like handle.
He should just change his last name to Iplier. Iplier,
yeah,
or something like that, like Mark Iplier.
Yeah, and there Plier sit next to him, and that's what he named himself with, Mark Plier. No, I don't know if that's true, but
like there was like an NFL player that did that as well. Like at some point, it's like his name is like Ocho Cinco because his number was 85.
Yeah,
everyone just called it Ocho Cinco so much that he just changed his legal last name to Ocho Cinco.
It's funny.
He used to play for the Bengals, I'm pretty sure.
So.
Yeah. That's not out of the realm of possibility, but
yeah.
Devin was telling me a little bit about Iron Lung, and you thought it was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. There's not really a backstory behind it, unless like there's a couple things to this. Okay, one, if you really loved him playing the game, and that's where he came up with the idea of making the movie of Iron Lung. He goes like, if I were to make a movie out of a video game, this would be it, because it is such an interesting premise. It is an interesting premise. Don't get me wrong, okay, but I just don't think that you could just make a movie without any backstory behind of what's going on. That's the thing. Because there's no backstory, there's no reason behind it, there's no like indication, like, because even yesterday I casually just put up YouTube and then it was just there on my home screen. I was just like, oh shit, I forgot that I was going to watch this, so I'm going to watch his Iron Lung playthrough. And even in the beginning when he first starts it up, there's a text blurb about like the backstory behind of why you're there. And I'm like, see, that would have been helpful. Instead of everybody that just goes like, yeah, I love Markiplier, I've seen his Iron Lung playthrough, so this makes sense to me. Unlike my wife, Grace, who's actually been on the podcast, where she even said like, I have no context of what is going on right now. And I shouldn't have to look for an outside source, like him playing a video game or just looking it up casually to know what the story is, to understand it.
Iron Lung is not a movie for general audiences. It is for fans of Markiplier.
Yeah.
Which, luckily for him, are quite there are quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because didn't the movie make back its budget? Like,
it
already?
basically made it back like 4 times the amount.
4 times over.
I think they made it for a $3 million budget, so like basically a shoestring budget, and I think it's made like $45 million.
Wow, that's more than 4, man. That's like 15. That's like 15 times its original budget. So yeah, like from what Devin told me, if you're a big fan of Markiplier and you want to support him, then go see it. But if you really don't care too much, then it's a skip, basically, is what he told me.
Yeah, because it had a budget of $3 million, and then it made anywhere between 35 to 50 million worldwide.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's definitely a banger for sure. But to me, I would definitely say on the rating scale that we have, I would say that it's a rent. If you're a big Markiplier fan, go check it out in theaters. Otherwise, if you just want to wait, then you can wait on it. But if you're just a casual person that just wants to see it, then I would just wait for it to come out on streaming or something. Not to discredit Mark, not to discredit like what he built for this. I personally just don't think that this movie is a hit just because of the fact that there's no context behind what's going on. So,
and I'm just going off of what Devin said. I have not seen it personally. Don't plan to.
Yeah.
Not a huge if it was like a Five Nights at Freddy's movie with Markiplier in it, then I would be more interested in going to see it.
Was that the bite of 87?
But if it's just a random indie game but like I said, he's already made back his money so much.
Oh yeah, 100%.
From like, but box office doesn't necessarily. It's not really. It's indicative of how good a movie is.
Right.
So don't let the box office fool you. Like we just said, it made its money 15 times over from its budget, because a lot of movies do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of them aren't necessarily very good.
Right.
So
like Hobbs and Shaw.
Like Hobbs and Shaw. We're never going to stop talking about that movie, I guess, at this point.
Or like some fucking MCU slop.
MCU slop, yeah. Again, we could go into another tangent about that. So what else did you see besides Iron Lung?
So while I was editing last week's podcast, I watched The Island on Netflix.
Island.
So it's been a little while since I've seen it. I didn't remember it specifically all the way through of what happened, but it was directed by Michael Bay, and it has Ian McGregor and Scarlett Johansson in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's like them being at a facility that they can't leave.
Oh, wait, I have seen a little bit of a snippet on this.
Yeah.
I didn't know Ian McGregor was in it. It's
by
Michael Bay?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Yeah, it's directed by Michael Bay. I think he also wrote it as well. I could be wrong.
What'd you think?
I thought it was okay.
It was okay.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so it's got that Michael Bay-esque
isms,
dialogue to it. It's not really heavy on the explosions like Transformers or like Bad Boys. So
see now I'm watching more Michael Bay. I've gone back and rewatched all the Transformers movies, or
the ones that he did.
Yeah, I mean we saw Transformers.
Yeah,
I like those. There's also this hit the music a little bit, the electronic wah,
right,
sort of thing. That's
the music hits, the sound effects hit for Transformers 100%. No argument. I will die on that hill.
Transformers sound design is always amazing. So.
Yeah. I remember seeing an edit on TikTok about like the transforming sound effect. And I was just like, oh, it's so fucking cool.
It's good.
It always makes me want to go back and rewatch Transformers again, just all of them. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, just for that alone.
Watching the Michael Bay Transformers movies is like playing a video game that has the worst story ever, and it's so forgettable.
Yeah. But the sound design and everything is great.
And the gameplay is fantastic.
Yeah. It's got that cadence to it. So it's all like, I hate playing this, but the gameplay is so good. The story is dog shit.
Like I hate playing this game for the story. And I'll just like, if you could like skip all the just like skip all the cutscenes in like a movie basically.
Let me just get to the gameplay. That's all I care about.
So
it's all about these people that are in a facility and they have a contest to see, oh, like you're a winner, like you go to the island. And it's supposed to be that it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic to where the outside world doesn't exist anymore because like there's what is it, like a chemical type of thing that happens outside of the world, and so they quote unquote rescue survivors, and then it's just like, oh hey, like we're gonna integrate you into this society that is in a facility and stuff. And then Ian McGregor has these nightmares where it's all like, oh, I'm on a boat, like I don't understand what's going on, and then these people drown me and stuff.
And Darth Vader's there.
Yeah. And then he fights him. He goes like, you didn't kill Anakin. I killed Anakin. I did that.
I did.
And so he starts unveiling this thing of going like, the facility isn't real. So then him and Scarlett Johansson bust out. And then it just turns out that this whole thing was fake from the beginning.
Yeah.
And just turns out that they're actually just basically kind of like clones of these people, but they're just harvesting their organs just in case, like these actual people that live in the real world that these people are at this facility for, like if they need a new heart or they need a new kidney or something, then they can harvest that organ from that specific individual that they cloned and then give it to them.
It sounds to me like this is some sci-fi bullshit, Devin.
It is. It's very much sci-fi bullshit because then they get out and then they're like, wait, none of this is real. Like, oh my God, like now we're trying to be individual people. And it's like, but you're not people, you're clones. So, like, this doesn't make any sense. But, yeah, it was just, you know, another Michael Bay slop movie, I thought. So it was okay. Last up on my list, because of this movie, I thought it was directed by James Gunn, but it wasn't. It was only produced, and I forgot that it was produced by him and not directed. So I decided to watch another James Gunn movie, which I've never seen before, which I will also go into more in depth as we talk about when we get to the end of the movie, more specifically.
Yeah.
So I watched Super. And this way I didn't forget all of this information. So it was written and directed by James Gunn, and it had, who was it? Rainn Wilson and Elliot Page and Liv Tyler and Kevin Bacon. So, as well as like Sean Gunn and Michael Rooker.
Super.
Yeah. So, and Nathan Fillion. So it's got his whole cadence of cast that he usually books for like Guardians of the Galaxy or like Peacemaker and stuff. So or like Superman, because a lot of the guys that has always been associated with James Gunn in his filmmaking have always carried on with him, like Nathan Fillion, Michael Rooker, his brother Sean Gunn. So but yeah, so Rainn Wilson, if you all don't remember who he is, he's from The Office, plays as Dwight. So, and Elliot Page, who was in, I was going to say Superbad, but she wasn't, or rather, he wasn't in Superbad. Sorry.
Oh.
But yeah, so like at the time he was going by Ellen Page. So, where before he switched trans.
Oh.
So
I don't know anything about this person.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize any of the names that you just said. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah. So if you've ever seen like any James Gunn movie besides Guardians of the Galaxy,
I have not.
It was always like Nathan Fillion Michael Rooker and his brother Sean Gunn were always in as side characters for his movies. So,
Can you give me an example in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Michael Rooker is Yondu.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Oh, okay.
Sean Gunn plays as the other guy that's supposed to be like taking his place in the third movie.
Oh, the Ravager.
Yeah, the Ravager guy.
That's Sean Gunn?
Yeah, that's Sean Gunn.
She's a good dog.
And then Nathan Fillion, who was the blue guy in the first one in the prison when Groot like shoves his fingers up his nose and holds him up. So, and then he was also another character in the second one, and then he was one of the guards in the third one for the prison.
Was he Taserface in the second one?
No,
No, that's a different guy?
yeah,
Okay.
that's a different guy.
Okay, whatever.
So, but yeah, it's got like all these, the three characters or the three actors always are in his movies and stuff. Because like Michael Rooker was in Slither, another James Gunn movie. It was another horror comedy. So Nathan Fillion was also in that one. But yeah, no, this one came out in 2010, I believe. Yeah, 2010. And it's basically about how this movie is so funny. Watched it last night. It's about this guy. Let me see, Frank. He has only 2 moments in his life that he really loved. One was marrying his wife. Second one was pointing out to an officer that was chasing a criminal, and he goes like, "He went into there, officer," and then he's like super proud of himself because he did a good thing. So, and his wife just ends up leaving him because she starts going back into being addicted to drugs.
Oh.
And Kevin Bacon plays as Jacques, who basically takes her, Liv Tyler, Sarah, to basically get addicted to drugs again. And it's basically him testing drugs on her just so that way that he could sell them. Because towards the end of the movie, he gets into a deal with this really high-end drug dealer, lord, something like that. And so he goes like, "Hey, you know, like I got this really cool drug, like, you know, we should go into business together," and all this bunch of stuff. And then it's supposed to be a superhero type movie, but without him having superpowers, Frank, because he basically just goes like, "Hey, God, like, I need guidance. Like, I need your help. What should I do?
I need you to kill Spider-Man. I need you to kill Peter Parker, basically."
Yeah. And so he goes like, "Give me a sign. What should I do?" And then there's always this weird cadence with James Gunn movies, because then it's all like these tentacles come out of nowhere, out of his walls, and then wrap him up, and then they cut open his brain. Or they cut open his head to expose his brain, and then all of a sudden God comes out, and like it's just his hand touches his brain. Nathan Fillion is there because he plays as a Jesus character in like the show that's supposed to be like, "Now kids, remember, like, here's what the Bible says," and blah 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 blah. Like, it's supposed to be him as a Jesus superhero, Nathan Fillion, and he comes out as Jesus, and he goes like, "Oh, you were touched by the finger of God." So he's supposed to enlighten you and tell you what you're supposed to do with your life. And then he comes up with the superhero of Crimson Bolt. And he basically just runs around like basically beating the shit out of drug dealers and pedophiles and shit. So
Okay.
with a wrench, he just runs up, just beats the shit out of him with a wrench. And so the news just goes like, "It's this weird guy, he's just running around just beating the shit out of people and hospitalizing them in the ICU and everything."
Wow.
So and then he meets Elliot Page at a comic book store that he works at, and it's really confusing with this because like he is transgender, and at the time he was female, so it's a little confusing to go back and forth with it. But so Frank asks him like, "Hey, you know, like I need to know about comic book characters without superpowers, so that way he can make his own comic book character." And then later on he ends up being his sidekick.
Oh,
so and he's trying to be all seductive with it and everything. I'm like, this is so funny. if you know James Gunn, you know his humor. You don't know James Gunn, so you don't know his humor.
Not as well
except for the Guardians movies.
as like, yeah.
So I would definitely say watch it. It's free on Pluto. Definitely give it a watch. It's super funny.
Okay.
I feel like that to understand how it feels, it's kind of like a Superbad type movie. Where
I've never seen Superbad.
So it's kind of like an awkward teen raunchy comedy. Is what it is. So
not really my jive, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a dark comedy.
Okay,
for sure.
All right.
So, but yeah, definitely give it a watch. But yeah, and like I said, I will get more into that as we get to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So, what have you been watching?
Okay, I'll bring up two. These two I actually watched like before the last episode, but I forgot to bring them up in my my watch list. So I watched the first two Night of the Museum movies.
Nice.
With Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
And I like watching them as an adult hits differently than watching them as a kid.
Yeah.
Because as you're watching as a kid, you see the first one and it's like, oh my God, that T-Rex is moving.
Yeah.
You know, that like...
Oh my God, he acts like a dog. Like, this is crazy.
But now as an adult, all I see now is just like Ben Stiller in the movie is like he's like a guy who can't hold down a job. And he lives in New York City, and I'm like, this would never work nowadays. And it's like, man, that's too like he's trying to like get all these get rich quick scams.
Yeah.
And all he could sell for is like a night job at a museum.
Right.
And
then he ends up loving it because he ends up getting attached to all of the different things that happen.
But like he's still like making like $13 an hour.
Yeah.
Back then in like 2000
right.
2000 something.
2007?
6, 7.
6, 7.
And then, but like the real bad stuff, like my museum is charming, but then you get to Battle of the Smithsonian, which as a kid I thought was a major improvement on the first one. It's like, oh, it's bigger. It's at the Smithsonian. There's more references to make.
Yeah.
But now watching it again, I'm like, this is so cringe.
Right.
Because one of the main plot points of the movie is Larry Daly is being followed around by Amelia Earhart.
Yeah.
But they try to force their relationship so hard.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The movie can't go 5 minutes without reminding them that they look like such a cute couple.
Yeah.
And that they should, like, date and stuff like that. And it's like, Larry knows it. The audience should know it.
Right.
Except for maybe, like, little kids. But, like, she's not real. Also, it's just really, really forced. That, like, and Annie was actually telling me this, like, isn't Amelia Earhart confirmed to be like a lesbian? Like, didn't they find some old like material, like when they were looking her up, that like kind of confirmed that she wasn't into men back then? I don't know this. So you can like, I'm not for sure, but like if that's true, not saying it is. If it's true, then that makes it especially awkward. But, like, there's also, like, a lot of, like, they try to put in a bunch of different references. Like, at one point, like, this is kind of funny as a kid. They bring in, like, Oscar the Grouch and Darth Vader.
Yeah,
to be able to join. Like, because right now, like, the band of villains is, like, Ancient Pharaoh, Common Ra, like, Al Capone, like Ivan the Terrible, and Napoleon. And it's just, like, such on the nose, like references, like, yeah, we get it, man.
Yeah.
But like Ben Stiller's character is so awkward.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like it's like it's supposed to be awkward comedy a little bit, but it just comes off as like it goes on for too long.
Right.
The bits go on for too long, and again, like they really try to reinforce this that like Ben Stiller's like this divorced dad, and by the end of the movie, like, Amelia Earhart goes back to being a wax statue and stuff like that, and then he goes back to New York, and he finds someone that looks exactly like her, but she's real.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, why are we doing this?
Right.
Like, and also, she's played by, what's her face? Lois Lane in Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm. Amy Adams.
Amy Adams, yeah. And so...
Yeah, I just looked it up. Apparently, Amelia Earhart could have been lesbian.
Yeah, it could have been.
So, because like I think that because even just looking it up, like the only thing that came up was Reddit, and I don't believe half the shit that's on Reddit.
That's
so
fair.
They said that they apparently found love letters between her and Eleanor Roosevelt, and that apparently she had an affair with her. So
okay.
I'm like, I don't know how true that is.
Yeah,
so
I don't
anybody
know.
can make up whatever they
I don't
want.
know.
So,
But what was I gonna say? Bill Hader's also in the film.
yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Bill Hader is General Custer in that film.
Did you also know that that's also Rami Malek's first movie is the second one?
No, it's the first one.
No.
Rami Malek was in the first one.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
No.
Yes, he's Akban Ra.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the first one, and then
Is
he
he
comes
in the
back in the
first
second
one?
one. Yes, because the whole plot point in the first one is they have to wake up Akban Ra so they can be able to get everything back in the museum because everything escaped because, what's his face, Dick Van Dyke and
Yeah.
the two other old guys become super strong because I
That's
guess
what
that
gives them like their youth back or whatever. Not really their youth, but like their physical youth.
yeah, but that also makes no sense because it's like it's supposed to bring dead things back to life.
And they're not dead.
And they're not
almost
dead. They're just really old. So
Yeah.
it can't. The movie can't decide as like what the logic of the magic, how the magic works. Whether it's like things that are old or and dead, or things or it's like old or dead or both.
Yeah.
Because originally it was like things that were dead because it's a tablet that opens up the doorway to the underworld.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just a really strange movie when you watch it as an adult versus when you do as a kid. As a kid, it was awesome.
Yeah. Like, especially him running around with the monkey, and then when the monkey starts playing tricks on him and they start slapping each other.
Yeah.
And then Teddy Roosevelt comes in and he goes like, why
Like
are you
that-
slapping the monkey? And he goes like, he started it.
That's really funny, but as adults, it just seems really weird and
Yeah. You're just like,
forced.
come on, get on with it, dude. Fucking
So-
come on.
And then the third one was really fucking bad because that was around when Robin Williams died. So he died during the filming of the movie, so he's only in the first part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
bit of
Plus,
a-
that's also where
bit
A
of a
Day to
big
Remember. That's where A Day to Remember got one of their titles for their songs. It was like, I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of?
I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of?
With Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, I didn't know.
So yeah,
Oh, that's good.
that's where they got one of their titles for their songs on Homesick.
Never
but,
se- I-
but
I-
you were right. That the first one was Rami Malek's first movie. I was wrong.
Yeah, so then he went on to do like a bunch of other stuff like Mr. Robot and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yep.
So, and then the other thing I watched was Filthy Rich on Netflix about a certain individual who will not be named on this because but like just he had a private island. So
Oh, okay. I got you.
I watched all of that.
He's got a list of people. You
Yeah.
know.
His name has shown up in a couple of important documents that have
Yeah.
been released in the past couple of months. So.
Mhm. Cool.
Big fan of cheese pizza.
Yeah.
This guy. So that's
And
all
also building furniture.
yeah.
like,
I guess.
the fuck?
I guess so.
So,
Anyway,
let you read the context clues at home. Be our detectives.
anyway, let's talk about Brightburn, shall we?
Yeah, let's talk about a dark side of Superman, shall we? So, like I said at the top of the show, we'll talk about what the movie is specifically about, writers, directors, stars, all that stuff, and then we'll get more in depth into the movie. So, it is about an alien that looks like a human boy, uses its powers in sinister and destructive ways.
I mean,
Not really.
Like,
That's like really, really specific.
I guess, yeah. Technically, Superman is a alien that looks like a human boy, but you don't really describe him as an alien that looks like a human. You just describe
Or
him as
it.
like, yeah,
You describe him as he.
yeah.
So not just because it's Superman, just because that he is inherently a man.
Yeah.
So
So
whether he be human or not,
The movie's premise is extremely, extremely simple.
It is.
It is just, what if Superman was evil?
Right.
That, and then you follow the natural follow along until it's natural conclusion of how the movie ends.
Right.
But it's different from how Injustice handles what if Superman was evil.
Right, because in Injustice, it's that the Joker kills Lois, or rather, he contracts Scarecrow to give the fear toxin to Superman because he knows it'll work on Superman, but not really on Batman a whole lot. So then he freaks out. He thinks that Doomsday is here, but then ends up killing Lois Lane as well as their unborn child.
Yeah.
And then he realizes that the Joker tricked him, goes down, kills the Joker, and even Batman tries to stop him. He goes you don't want to do this. If you do this, you go down a very dark path. And Superman ends up saying, fuck you, I'm going to put my fist through him. And then that's when the injustice starts unfolding, is that he starts having a regime of taking over the world, going if you do bad things, we're going to fuck you up, dude.
Yeah. So and then now it's what if Superman was evil the whole time?
Right. It's what if when he developed his powers, he just ended up being evil because he realizes how powerful he actually is.
And then, but it also explores some weird themes about superiority complexes.
Yeah,
and
it does.
A little bit about
because
toxic masculinity. A little bit it dips into that.
Yeah, because especially for him when he first discovered his powers on his birthday, and then later that night he freaks out because he couldn't have the gun that he got as a present from his uncle.
Right.
And then he goes oh no, I want it now. And then he just goes no, we're his dad just goes no, we're leaving. And he goes I'm not going anywhere type of thing.
Yeah,
and then he goes to grab him and he can't bring him.
Great move, yeah.
But yeah, it's that whole teenage defiance thing.
Well, I don't even think it's a teenage thing. I think it's just a kid having a temper tantrum.
Well, yeah, but then it's also the fact that you can't stop me type of mentality of going I'm too powerful for you to actually do anything about.
Right. So
but
this whole thing starts out a little bit weird where it's just the oh wait, we'll get into the actual plot thing, but let's we should go over who Riot directed and then who started it.
Because at the top of the show, I mentioned that I thought it was James Gunn, but no, it turned out that it was David Yarovesky that directed it. And he also directed another movie that came out last year, Locked, which I saw, which wasn't all that great either. So, but we got his brother, James Gunn's brother, Brian Gunn, and his cousin, Mark Gunn, who wrote it.
A lot of guns.
So, a lot of guns.
Guns. Lots of guns.
So...
and then obviously James Gunn produced it, but he didn't really have a hand in writing or directing it.
Yeah, he produced it.
Yeah.
So, but we're only going to do a small cast of characters here because there's not really a whole lot. There's only 22 people in the top cast, so it doesn't matter. But we got Elizabeth Banks, who plays Brandon's mom, Tori. David Denman, who plays Kyle, the dad. Got Jackson A. Dunn, who plays Brandon. And then we got... who was it? Matt Jones, who plays as Noah, who's the uncle, and his wife, who is Meredith Hagner, who plays as Marilee, right?
And Matt Jones actually is Badger from Breaking Bad, which I thought was a welcome surprise.
And we also got Michael Rooker as a surprise cameo at the end of the movie. So.
Yeah.
Gotta eat a fucking breakfast. Let's get our shit together and do something.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I think the dad, Kyle, is from, I think he's the dad also in, Saban's Power Rangers as well. He's the dad of the Red Ranger too.
Yeah, that's right. So he was Peacemaker's brother in the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was all why does he look familiar? And that's why. He was also apparently in The Office, whatever. He was also in Rebel Ridge as well. So, Rebel Ridge is good. You should watch it. It's on Netflix. Mm-hmm. It's a Netflix original. But he hasn't been in a whole lot of
I'm pretty sure he's the dad of Jason.
In the Power Rangers?
Yeah. But the live action one.
Yeah. Talking about the movie, right?
Live action one. They're all live action. But
yeah.
I'm talking about the movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. When did that come out? 20-something?
late 2010s, basically. Let me look this up real quick. 2017
2017
was the
Power Rangers. Here he is. Yeah, Sam Scott. There we go.
yeah.
Well, there you go.
I didn't realize
he played
that
as the dad in Power Rangers.
Yeah. How do you say this guy's name?
Which guy?
This guy, Dacker.
Dacker Montgomery. I think it's Dacker Montgomery.
Yeah, he was in the he was in Stranger Things. He's Billy.
Yeah.
And he was also in Elvis
as
one of the producer guys.
Yeah.
So
anyhow, let's move on to taglines.
Sorry. Yeah.
As we derail this thing. So we got 3. It's one of them is imagine what he could become, which is basically just like, oh, imagine if he would become Superman.
Yeah, it's like imagine what Superman would become.
Yeah.
This movie is not subtle about the comparisons between Brandon and Superman and like Clark Kent.
Yeah. And then the next one is he's not here to save the world, which it's not because
he's here to take the world.
Yeah, because his spaceship ends up telling him in his alien language of going like, "Take the world,
take the world,
take the world."
So, and then last one is evil has found its superhero.
Huh? I guess. Again, that would go a little harder if this movie sort of went anywhere franchise wise.
Well, they were going to make a sequel. They were going to make a slew, kind of like the dark universe of superhero movies.
Yeah, they were gonna make an evil like Wonder Woman and evil Aquaman and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that was going to be like their dark universe of superhero.
Then James
DC
Gunn
movies.
got asked to do the DCEU.
Yeah, because like he produced this movie in between Guardians movies because he came out with Guardians and then one, and then he made this, and then he produced it, and then he went on to make Guardians 2.
Then he went on and made like Suicide Squad and then Peacemaker.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I need to rewatch James Gunn's Suicide Squad again.
It's so good.
I remember liking it the first time, but
let's go ahead and talk about more in depth about the movie. Shall we?
So, we don't really need to go like plot by plot.
No, because basically the whole plot is the fact that he touches down on the planet just like Superman does. He gets adopted by a Kansas couple again, just like Superman.
A gift.
And he discovers his powers on his 12th birthday, and then he just goes like, well, now that I have these special powers, nothing can stop me. And then at the same time, he was having dreams of the ship, which his parents are trying to hide from him, and he can't get hurt. The only thing that could hurt him is a ship.
Yeah.
And he ends up going on a power trip of going like, well, nobody could stop me. His ship tells him in an alien language, take the world. So then he decides to basically come up with these convoluted ways of being like a menace to everybody, just to basically, he really likes this girl. He decides to creep up on her and then breaks her hand because she goes like, you're gross.
What are you doing?
Brandon!
Let go! Stop it!
Brandon, stop!
Type of thing. And then he ends up killing her mom. So
I already saw this movie before I watched it, like this one, because like I just watched it on a random night, I think.
I saw it when it first came out and I loved it.
But rewatching it again the second time, the whole scene in the beginning in the classroom, where he answers the question is like, can anyone tell the difference between bees and wasps? And it's like bees, like wasps are pollinators, bees are predators, and it's pretty obvious that the writers are like, okay, so he's the wasp,
right?
And like they're talking about like how there's a species of wasp that basically like makes other wasps take care of its young,
right?
Basically, and so like he's the he's the wasp in this scenario,
right?
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be that the humans are the bees.
Yeah,
because
basically. So like again, not very like sort of subtle, but then it goes on to like the the black kid's making fun of him.
Yeah, he goes
And
like,
then
"Oh, like you're a maggot, blah blah, whatever."
Yeah, maybe,
or like no, larva.
Yeah,
or something.
Like sounds like what you are, and it's like,
Yeah.
and then the girl in front of him is like, "Don't worry, smart guys end up
smart guys end up ruling the world anyway."
And
it's
like,
just like, oh, foreshadowing because he's gonna rule the world out.
And again, it's also like, even if he didn't have superpowers, that's still kind of like
true.
no, not true, but like it's like kind of feeding into his, like I said, that toxic masculinity a little bit.
Yeah,
he's
for
like,
sure.
Oh, this girl said I'm smart. That must mean she likes me,
right?
You know, sort of like a incel type of thing.
Oh, she like told me that I looked nice.
She must be in love with me.
Yeah.
And then when she's like, "No, I just was being nice to you," and it's like, "How could you do this to me?
Right.
I hate you. I hate all women now." And
right.
It's like, because like later on in the movie, he because now he's able to fly and be super strong. He like find out where she lives, gets into her room, and she's like, "I want you to." I like you, and I like.
Then puts on like this romantic but this romantic song that plays on her laptop.
Oh yeah.
So it's just going like, "Oh, I like you," blah blah, whatever, and then she goes to like shut the computer, and then he opens it up again with his super speed, and then she just goes like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then realizes that the wind is blowing through her window, and then sees him. Mom comes in, and so she goes like, "There's somebody in the window.
He's creeping on me."
And then it's just like nobody's there. And then like the next day, he ends up breaking her hand
because
they're doing
a trust exercise, and like the gym teacher's totally on his side.
Yeah.
Because she's like being irrational, and she's like, he's a pervert.
Yeah, well, I mean, like they're basically just supposed to like knock into each other. They're just supposed to lightly push each other to trust, and then he goes to fall into her, and so she goes like ew, and backs away. So he falls, cracks his head on the pavement.
Which is rude.
And then like they're like, hey, you know, like, are you all right? And then the black kid who's the bully, he just goes like, yeah, like you made a better partner with the floor, and so. The gym teacher goes like, "Hey, help him up," and so she goes like, "No, he's gross and weird.
No, he's
a pervert.
He's a pervert."
And I love the fact that he goes to like grab her hand, and so you just visibly see him getting more pissed off, and he just goes like, "What if I just like broke her hand?" And so like he does it.
And stop.
So
it's like, what if Superman let his intrusive thoughts win?
Right, and they're not, and like the parents don't do anything about it either. Like, not like specifically going like, oh, he deserves an ass whooping, blah blah, whatever. But it's just the fact that the thing that's different between his parents and the Kents are the fact that the Kents, not the fact that they both want loving parents, right? They were both loving parents. So there's no difference.
They both wanted
that.
The best for the kids.
Yeah, but like Brandon was hiding his powers versus like he just fully at a young age decided to, here, let me show you that I can pick up this tractor with ease and I'm flying and shit. And then they even told him like, don't use your powers for any reason. And then later on they're just like, only use your powers for good if you have to.
Yeah, and then Brandon understood immediately what his powers were.
Yeah.
And then chose to hide them.
Right. And then also his alien ship told him take the planet.
Yeah.
So then that started feeding into his delusion of being like, oh, I just need to basically take over the world and nothing can stop me.
Take the world.
So, except for the power of my mother's love, and even then that still didn't stop me.
Yeah.
So, but I did love the fact that when the movie started, it's the couple, they're like in bed together, they're like trying to make a baby, right? They're trying to have a baby.
It's not even like it could have just shown them in the bed and they could have said something.
Yeah.
But instead they have to like
have the
superimpose.
dialogue.
No, they have to,
but they show the infidelity.
An entire
of,
bookshelf of infidelity, like how to have a baby books.
Or infertility.
As if it wasn't
not infidelity.
As if we couldn't pick that up ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like,
and then even when they're trying to like have sex, she just goes like, I don't know, why don't we just have some fun? He goes like, I like to have fun, blah blah. And it brought me to Smiling Friends.
It's really awkward.
Yeah, I just thought of the Smiling Friends thing of going like, where it's Miss Mustard is with Charlie. And she goes like, oh, you like to have fun too? And he goes like, yeah, I mean, like, I like to have fun. She goes like, oh, you like to have fun? He goes like, I already said yes.
You like to have fun too?
I mean, you're asking about me? I mean, I like fun, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I already said yes.
Like that's what it made me think of.
Yeah. So
but yeah, and then
and then
we'll cut to when he finally discovers his powers, because like his dad goes like, "Hey, why don't you go and do the lawn?" He goes like, "Oh yeah, I got it." He's trying to like pull the handle back to start it, and then he finally does, but he ends up throwing it across the field.
Yeah.
And then he just goes like, the lawnmower is still on, which this doesn't work, by the way, because with now more modern lawnmowers, you have a handle, and if you let go of the handle, it shuts off.
Yeah.
So just for this reason alone.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty dumb.
Yeah, and so like the lawnmower's just going, and the blade is sit upright, and then he just goes like, "What if I just put my hand in this?" And I thought it would have been hilarious if he just put his hand in it and it cut it off, and he goes like, "Oh my god!" And then they go like, "What were you doing?" It's just like, "I thought it was super strong because I threw it across the way." It's like, no, this thing weighs like 5 pounds. What are you talking about, dude? It was just like, it's so funny.
Movie's over.
Yeah, movie's over. He's not actually super powered. He just turns out to be super strong. But yeah, then he realizes this is his powers manifesting, and he just goes like, "Oh man, I'm super strong. Like I'm gonna go and fuck shit up now." So, but yeah, and then just the fact that he just becomes an asshole.
Yeah.
Like the whole time, and then I hate that he keeps fluctuating. I'm all like, dude, this kid has bipolar. This kid is inherently bipolar, because you cannot just justify being super pissed off one minute, and then the next day you wake up and everything's fucking fine.
Yeah, that is one thing that kind of bothered me on my second rewatch. It's just like, if he was really evil, then why is he like why is he playing up this charade?
Right.
At this point.
Yeah.
If he's already decided that like he's going to like take the world, you know, and he's strong enough to be able to do it, why does he keep up trying to like still go to school and
plus
why
is he trying to like fuck with people too and
yeah,
kill them?
It's very clear that he doesn't care about anybody anymore.
No,
you know?
because like we already mentioned, you broke the little girl's hand, and then he goes to confront her later that night to go like, "Hey, I just want to say I'm sorry. I like you. You know, like you're the only other person that knows about this. So I'm basically super powered." And she goes like, "Oh, my mom told me that I couldn't talk to you." And he goes like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of that." Goes to the diner and then basically kills the mom. But this is so fucking good, because I don't know how the fuck he's able to fuck with the like the radio frequency for shit.
Yeah,
or technology, because like, you know, we discovered this at some point when the radio starts going off or something like that, so that it starts like going through the channels or whatever, or it starts breaking out or whatever, because the light fixture that's above the mom in the diner breaks, right? All the light bulbs break.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, this is actually really cool, like glass shoots at her from above, and then like one of the shards is in her eye.
It's in her
iris.
I
and I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool.
I skipped over this part in the second watch because I hate that.
Yeah. And then especially when she moves her eye and you see it like tink tink, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like,
yeah. And then
let's go.
And then like she's half blind, so you can see that Brandon appears in her vision.
Yeah, but he has like this mask on that he made himself out of the blanket that he uses, and the cape too.
Yeah, and like doesn't like who says that it's like a shitty mask?
It was the uncle.
Yeah, it was the uncle. It's
like,
like this mask sucks.
Yeah,
you know?
He goes like, we're wearing a fucking creepy mask. That's what it was. And he goes like, it's not creepy. He goes like, yes, the fuck it is.
It's cool.
Yeah, he goes like, it's cool. You just don't understand it.
So like the movie like goes from being like an evil Superman origin story to it's like a superhero slasher film.
Yeah.
At some point,
because
when you ask about why Brandon fucks with the lights and stuff like that, it literally like is just to create fear and tension.
Yeah,
it's to create a scary moment.
Oh yeah,
because there's no explanation of why he's able to do that.
Right, because
Superman can't do that.
No,
and if he's supposed to be like Superman,
fuck with the frequency of the light fixtures to have them explode, or be able to fuck with the frequency of like electronic devices like a TV or something.
So it literally is there just so that writers can create a tense, scary scene.
I mean, like, it works for it being like tension and building and like being scary and stuff, because it's all like, what would happen if Superman became evil as a child and he wasn't able to control his powers. It's like, this wouldn't be specifically what it'd be like, because he wouldn't just go around terrorizing people.
He can control his powers though.
Well, yeah.
It's not like it's a that trope of like uncontrollable monster, like, because that would be like, I think, more lame.
Yeah.
If it wasn't like he killed his parents on accident and then he becomes evil at the very end.
Right.
No, he was always evil. So that,
yeah.
At least they pulled the trigger on that one.
Right.
But it's because that they're separate from, making a separate story from Superman, that they're able to do that.
Yeah.
They're able to experiment with that. So the whole this scene is really cool because he's just messing with her.
Yeah.
In the diner.
Because then she runs. I just love the fact that she runs around the diner to hide. She runs into the freezer.
Yeah.
Locks the freezer, which, is smart, I guess. But then she starts looking around for like a window, and I'm like, what fucking freezer do you know at a diner of all places has a fucking window in it?
Yeah.
Like, dumb. Like, you might as well have ran out the back door.
And then he rips the door off.
Well, he creates suspension by laser blasting half of the door open and then rips it apart. When she's not even standing there, it just rips open. And then all of a sudden he's just standing there. And the fact that when it goes to her point of view, when she has her eye like red because of the blood that's out of her eye, out of her retina, and then so she closes her eye with her hand. I'm like, why didn't you just do that from the beginning so that way you could actually see more?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it focuses on him being there, and all of a sudden it just jump scares to him just lunging at her.
Yeah.
And then after that, like, you don't see her up until the end of the movie when Elizabeth Banks is taking a part of his ship to stab him with the glass that's in the front of the ship, and then so she's ripped apart.
Yeah.
Like, she's basically dissected in the barn. So,
oh yeah, because he does look up, like, he is looking at books about like human anatomy and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that it's probably because that he started developing his X-ray vision, and so he's just like, oh, so that's what organs look like.
I'm starting to think that like maybe there was like a deleted scene of him using his X-ray vision,
It's possible.
and they cut it out, but they kept in that part just to show that to hint at maybe he has X-ray vision.
Yeah, because then the parents look up under his bed, and then they see that like he has cutouts of like women's magazines of like women in lingerie and stuff.
Yeah.
And so she goes like, is this porn to him? And it's like, yes, that's porn to him. He's never seen a naked woman before. What are you fucking talking about, dude?
Yeah.
And then the dad goes like, oh yeah, you're like, that's pretty common for his age. Like, I did shit like this. And then she goes like, starts looking through stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like organs and like human anatomy and stuff. And she goes like, is this like a guy thing? He goes like, this isn't a guy thing I've ever known of.
Nope.
And so he goes, I'll talk to him. So then they go hunting, or they go camping, more like it.
And he has
the talk with his
the birds and the
son.
bees.
Yeah, and so he just goes like, basically just talking about jerking off, and he goes like, oh, like from time to time you'll have these urges, and it's okay to have these urges every now and again to like actually do it. And he goes
Why
like,
would he?
And then he goes like now, and he goes like, what? He goes like now, and he goes like, no, not right now, you fucking weirdo. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You're not gonna jerk off in front of me.
No.
So, but yeah, and then like I think this is the part when they all realize that he has these powers too, like he's super strong and everything, and they don't have a talk about him being super strong or anything like that. They just basically ignore it completely. So
I think like, what's their reasoning is like, we gotta like let him figure it out for himself, or
pretty much, because it's the whole thing when like they're at the diner, they're celebrating his birthday, his uncle gives him the gun, the hunting rifle, just goes like, no, like I want that, and he goes like, no, like we're leaving, because he's throwing a hissy fit, and then he tries to jerk him out of the chair because he's not listening, and then he can't move him, and it's just like, that should have been your first inkling of going like, dude, I can bench press like 350 pounds. This kid is like maybe 60 pounds.
Yeah.
I can easily fucking throw him around this goddamn diner. Why is he not getting up?
Yeah.
So,
and then like at one point, like he starts lying to his parents about where he's been.
Yeah. Because like he discovers that he's an alien, that he crashed on the planet and everything like that, and like they were protecting him because he finally gets to the barn, and he rips it open, and then he realizes that his ship is there, but like he's being entranced or something like that because he doesn't realize this is happening.
Yeah, he's trying to get.
And then he's floating above it, and then he falls into it, and that's when we discover that he gets cut by his ship.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing that can hurt him. And he starts freaking out, and so she goes there and tells him that like, oh, you know, like,
tell him the truth.
We were. You know, wanting a baby, we couldn't get a baby, and then all of a sudden you came, and then we took care of you, and then that's basically what it is. He goes like, "You lied to me, you're a liar," and it's kind of like, it made me think of 11 from Stranger Things, of going like, "You lie, you're a liar, you're like Papa."
You lie! You are like Papa!
you lie like just like Papa.
You lie like Papa.
Dumb.
And then so he runs into the room, like back into the house, and he just starts fucking throwing the pictures of them.
Liar.
Like, you're a liar, you're liars, like, I hate you. And then like the next morning he wakes up and it's just like, oh yeah, it's cool.
I forgive
like,
you now.
What the fuck? And then that's when we have the diner scene, because I had this listed off like beat for beat, like what happens. But yeah, then
I want to talk about the logo that he makes for a little bit too.
It's supposed to be his initials, Brandon Breyer.
Yeah, Brandon Breyer.
So,
then
but it's such an interesting way of how he made that into like a symbol.
Yeah.
So because even in the diner scene, it's like outside the windows that he made that symbol all along the windows.
It's like it's not, and then it becomes his like murder calling card.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Because after that, like he kills the uncle, and then like he takes his blood and then writes his basically initials on that.
Because like the way how that happens is that he goes to his aunt is the guidance counselor at his school.
Yeah, because after he breaks the girl's hand, they decide to have him go through counseling.
Yeah.
Up until like, you know, he can actually have his feelings be normal.
And he's like, and she asks him like, "Do you feel bad about what happened to Cassidy or whatever?"
He goes like, "Well, even with good people, some bad things have to happen."
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
Like, if you're not feeling, if this is not making progress, then I'm gonna have to tell your parents, and then
I got to tell the sheriff.
Yeah, and then I tell the sheriff, and then like he comes at her house, is like, you can't talk to the sheriff.
Yeah, you can't
because
tell the
This
sheriff
is after he kills
the mom,
the mom at the diner, and he shows up and is like, listen, you can't talk to the police.
You can't tell anybody about this.
And it's like, I appreciate that, but you have to go back home. This is really inappropriate. And
right.
It's like, okay.
And so he just goes like, I'm going to have to tell somebody about this because, like, you know, it's fucking weird, dude. It's weird. And then he goes like, okay, I'll just walk back home. And she goes like, okay, be safe. And he goes like, yeah, you too.
The motion detector in her backyard
was going off.
It's like, is there an animal or something like that? And then he breaks it. And he gets in the house and he hides in the closet. And the uncle finds him after he comes back.
Well, like he's hiding in the bathroom, like above the shower. He's like Spider-Man in it in the corner. And I'm just like, oh fuck! Like I forgot about this because the uncle was drinking a few beers from the bar and then he goes home. I love the fact that it's just like, no, this is a normal guy thing to do, of being like, no man, you're like, if you had a few, like, you know, I'll take you home. And he goes like, Mom, I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'll be safe.
And he does make it home. Yes,
he does make it home. He doesn't swerve or anything like that. But like I've had this happen to me before where it's just like you're super tired and you just want to go to bed, so that it's just like and smart on him just to like go into the bathroom, brush his teeth before he goes to bed, and then like all of a sudden Brandon is afraid that he's going to get caught, so then he like runs, like flies into the closet and just goes like, what the fuck was that? Goes in, and then that's when Brandon's just hiding there, and he goes like, what the fuck are you doing in here, dude? He goes like, oh, I was talking to Aunt whoever about like my stuff. And he goes like, no, what are you doing in my closet, you fucking freak?
And he's like, you're in big trouble, mister.
Yeah.
And he like takes him out and he's like, get in the car.
Yeah. And he goes like, get in the fucking car. And he goes like, hey, this creepy mask. He goes, it's not creepy, it's cool. And he goes like, no, it's fucking weird. And so he tells him to get in the truck, and then he himself gets in the truck, and he is gone. And he goes like, motherfucker. And he goes like, get in the fucking truck. And I love his reaction when he's driving down the street, because he realizes that like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking leave. And he's driving down the road, and then his car breaks down. Again, I don't know how the fuck this would have happened, like, unless he's had prior car problems. It seems like it. He goes like, no, don't do this again, because
again, it's
Brandon like runs into the side of the car, and then it dies, and he ends up like he starts trying to start the car again, and then he hits the dash, and then the lights would flicker on, and then they would shut off. And I'm like, that's not how this would happen. But it's just in order to cause tension.
It's writing.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's just there in the middle of the road, and he goes like, nope, we're going to start this up right now, and we're going to leave. Nope, we're going to fucking do this, and we're going to get out of here.
Nope. Mm-mm. No.
And then all of a sudden he starts floating, and he goes like, nope, still no. Like, we're going to go. We're going to do this right now. So
yeah, I got a little bit of Badger in there a little bit.
Yeah, he's just like, nope, we're getting the fuck out of here, dude. He lifts up the car and then drops it,
and
oh man, this is great because his jaw breaks on the steering wheel. I'm like, this wouldn't have happened if he was wearing a seatbelt. Just saying, that wouldn't have happened. Like the airbag would have deployed, he would have been a little bit bashed up, but he would have been safer though. And then he just dies from his injuries. His jaw being broken. And I love the fact that they also showed, like, it didn't cut away, but it showed him still being alive and that his jaw was hanging off. Yeah. And his mouth is all fucked up. And I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I liked that.
Kind of impressive they did that. Like, they were able to do. The CGI is not bad.
No, it's not.
In this.
And there's, like, little to no CGI in it. So.
Except for the thing with the jaw and probably.
Him running around super quack and stuff.
So, like. The budget was only like, again, $6 million, so
yeah,
kind of impressive how they did that.
Right.
So let's see what else we talked about. I guess we just skip to the ending where it's just like
yeah, because like the dad's starting to freak out and he just goes like, you killed my best friend, and like takes him on the weekend for a hunting trip and tries to shoot him in the back of the head. And I'm just like, you're a fucking idiot.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, because like at the same time, the mom is at home, and so the sheriff comes by and goes like, hey, you know, like, does these look like could be initials for Brandon Breyer? And she goes like, you need to leave right now. Because
she saw him drawing the symbols in his notebook when she picked him up from school one day.
Yeah. Because
she's an artist too. She commented on the brush strokes and stuff like that.
Well, not even just the brush strokes.
And
it's like
the sheriff shows him the picture. Shows the picture of that, and then
she goes like, you need to leave.
Realized that like, oh,
you need to leave.
Brandon killed these people, and then she tries to reach her husband, but he's not picking up the phone because they're at, like, bad reception or something.
No, it's the fact that Brandon kills the dad, and by laser eye blasting through his skull. And I'm like, that's fucking cool. Let's go. It kind of reminds me of The Boys, because Homelander has done that before too.
And then Brandon picks up the phone finally, and she's like, "I'm coming home."
She goes
Mom.
like, "Where are you?" And he goes like, "I'm home," and literally just floating right above, like a mile or two away from the house.
Yeah,
I'm just like, that's fucking cool. And smashes the phone in his hand. I'm like, let's go.
And then
he starts terrorizing her by just like bashing through the fucking house and shit.
Yeah.
So
eventually, it gets to the point where the cops show up. He kills the cops. Like pretty badly, and then she runs out to the ship because that's the only way to kill him.
Well, like the thing with the sheriff is that he just goes like, "Hey, come with me, like I'm gonna protect you," and then slams right into him, and I'm just like, creates a big red smear on the ground, and I'm like, that's
very
awesome.
Yeah, very Boys-esque.
Yeah, and then also there's another deputy there, and so he ends up killing her by just like, it wasn't really couldn't really see it because it was all blurry in the background, but basically him just bashing her up and down against like the house.
Yeah.
Like up against the ceiling and against the floor, and then throws her, and then all of a sudden like she dies from injuries and stuff.
Yeah. Mom runs out to the barn, and like she's like, oh, the only thing that can cut him is the ship. And then that's when she finds the diner lady like strung up.
Yeah, she's basically a science experiment of the human anatomy,
and then she's like,
with her organs being ripped open, like it's great.
And then the mom is like, I know there's still good in you, Brandon. You gotta
this is when she fucked up, dude, is when she starts going like, I know there's good in you, we'll figure this out. And he goes like, I want to do good, Mom, I do.
Tries to stab him, and then
she goes like, I love you, and then tries to stab him, and then
she fails.
Yeah, she fails because he grabs her hand,
and then he hits her with the Superman super move from Injustice 1.
Where just like, I'm going to shoot you straight up into the sky and just let you go.
Yep.
So, and I do love that they also showed her being all beaten up and bloody because of that. I'm all like, yeah, because you wouldn't have walked away with that with a few scrapes and scratches or something. Like, no, like your head would be bleeding profusely. But and then just lets her go, and then so she falls, and I'm like, I got a little scared at this just because, like, you know, for one, I'm afraid of heights, so I can envision this of just being like, no, that would be terrifying, just to be shot straight up into the sky, just to be let go. And then you just look at this superpowered being just standing there over you. And it's like, this is fucking freaky as shit.
And then you think that's it.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, there's an airplane that comes.
A plane comes into frame. And
it's just like, fuck yeah. And then it just cuts. And then it's now like the next morning.
And then the plane has crashed into the farm.
Yeah. And then we get the text, well, not the text, but we get the exblurb from the newscast of being like, yeah, so we got a plane crash that happened at a small family farm.
The victims include the Bryers.
The Bryers.
They're survived by their son Brandon.
Yeah, and then it's just like him eating a cookie, and then him just like also like smirking a little bit too because he got away with it. And then as the camera's also panning over, you see that he wrote his initials symbol on the side of the ship. So,
and then the credits
start going,
and then it's newscast.
It's Michael Rooker, who's it's the newscast talking about like, oh, it's a superpowered being. Where did he come from?
It's like a little bit of like found footage, like
people are recording shit off
like
their phone.
Chronicle style of like, who is Brightburn? You know, and it's like,
yeah, and this is also the thing too, where it's like Brightburn is the town, and like he then I think becomes the moniker of Brightburn.
Yeah.
So
of Brightburn, Kansas, and then. He's like, I'm going to take that name for myself. And then he starts talking about, like, oh, there's been reports of, like, some weird fish dude. And, like...
Yeah, or, like, this lady that, like, gets ropes or cords and starts strangling people with them and stuff. And I'm like, that's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And I love the cartoonish look to her, too, of the way that they portrayed her to be.
Yeah.
And then this is what I wanted to also talk about. This is the reason why I watched Super, is because that when he shows all of these different drawings that people have made, right? Or like, you know, especially the Aqua guy, right? And Wonder Woman, and then like I believe that the guy that's at the bottom is Martian Manhunter.
Oh,
that's who it looked like. It looked like an alien type creature, and I'm like, that must be Martian Manhunter. And then the guy that's off to the left, that's in the red, that is Frank from Super. Because I looked it up and I was just like,
is Frank supposed to be like a version of the Flash?
I think he's supposed to be a version of Batman.
Oh, Batman. Okay.
Because he even went to, because like in the movie, he goes to the comic book store and he goes like, hey, I want to know more about comic book characters that have no powers. And so Elliot Page starts going like, okay, there's Batman. Batman has batarangs and he has like gadgets and stuff, blah blah. And he goes like, all right, cool. So he picks up a Batman comic, and so he goes like, oh, there's Green Arrow. He's got a bow and arrow, and like all of his bows have different abilities and stuff. And so like he's basically just grabbing all these comics of like non-superpowered people. So, but yeah, and like I said, he just runs around beating the shit out of people with a wrench. So it's great. But no, so like I looked it up last night after watching Brightburn, and I'm like basically trying to get knowledge about these characters. And then they said like, oh, Brightburn and Super are in the same universe. I was like, okay, cool. So that's the reason why I decided to watch Super.
Yeah. So.
But, and, you know, that's the end of Brightburn.
Again, pretty simple movie.
And again, it's an hour and a half, so it's not that long. So
if the idea of an evil Superman intrigues you,
it does me.
And, you wanted to watch something that's James Gunn-esque, give this one a watch, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
But, let's get into our ratings.
Yeah, I was going to say. So we'll talk about if this is a rent, buy, or skip. So a rent is just an occasional watch. I'll watch it every so often. It's an alright type of movie. Buy is a fuck yeah type of movie. This is the best of the best of the best, sir, with honors type of movie. You'll buy it, you'll own it, you will put it up on your bookshelf. And then skip is just like don't recommend it, don't watch it at all. Like it's the Melania of movies, if you will.
Yeah.
So like it's a dog shit movie. So I think this is also my second time watching this one. So
I'll go first since I'm the one who suggested it.
Okay.
So I'll give this a rent.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
When I first watched it, I thought it was like pretty good, but then rewatching it again, I was like, some of this stuff is kind of like the pacing is a little bit weird on this movie.
Yeah,
it doesn't dwell on things for very long because it kind of like assumes the audience like gets it at this point.
Right.
So like very simple premise. I'll watch it once in a while. It's like it's not like an average movie. There was some care put into it. And like, if I ever feel like watching this again, I'll probably look it up. But I wouldn't necessarily give it a buy because it's not necessarily an original idea. Because again,
they're just taking the essence of one thing and just making a twist on it.
DC already did Injustice, and then
but that was also like some years later too.
Was it though?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
no.
I think so.
Because
this came out in 2010. Or no,
this movie came out in 2019.
Yeah.
So, no, Injustice was way before that. I'm also thinking about Injustice Gods Among Us, the NetherRealm game. The people who made Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Did Injustice, and that came out way before this one.
Well, yeah. I also think that the comic came out way before it, too. But keep talking.
Yeah, so, not if you're looking for something... I guess if you're looking for... like, it's not necessarily that scary... I would say, because you're kind of like, you kind of know what to expect from the killer monster sort of thing. It's like, it's just, what if Superman was a serial killer, essentially? Not even really, like, because he's not even really a serial killer. He kills like, what, 4 people?
Yeah, because he kills the mom in the diner, he kills the uncle, he kills the sheriff, the deputy, and his dad and his mom. So that's about 6 people, plus everybody on the airplane.
Yeah,
so that's like a shit ton of people.
He's just a murderer, mostly. So I think it's good. I definitely like saw it on Netflix, and I was just like, I wanted to look this up for the first time.
Yeah.
Like I've been meaning to look at this, and then I watched it, and it's like, oh, it was a good 90 minutes. It's not too long as well. So overall, I think it's a rent. So
yeah, for me, to piggyback off of the Injustice, the comic came out in 2013.
Yeah.
So and then the game came out like 2018, I think. So
no,
that's what it said.
Injustice 2 maybe came out in 2018.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But the first, because there's 2 Injustices.
Yeah, I know.
One, I think
I got the second one as the Legendary Collection or something like that, because I got it as a steelbook. And that's way before I was into steelbooks too. So I just got it because it has Batman on the cover. Because the original had, I think it was Supergirl. The deluxe edition had Superman. I could have those 2 reversed, and then the Legendary like Ultimate Pack had Batman on it.
Oh, okay.
And because I'm a Batman fan, I wanted to get the Legendary. So. Yeah. Anyhow, to my review, I'm on the fence now after I've seen it, after so long of not seeing it. I actually still love this movie, so I'd say that it's a buy.
Fuck yeah!
Best of the best, sir. With honors.
But it's borderline rent's buy.
Yeah.
So, but to me, I've always loved and have always been fascinated with the dark side of comic book characters, of like, especially with the Injustice, right?
Yeah.
Series, where it's just like, oh, what if Superman turned evil? But this is also the same thing, but just as him as a child. And I also just love that it's a horror movie instead of just like, oh, let's make this into a gritty superhero movie. It's like, no, this is just an inherent horror movie where the slasher just has superpowers.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. But I really enjoy the deaths that are in this movie, like the uncle when his jaw gets like broken by the steering wheel and stuff like that, especially him just go like, nope, I'm gonna nope the fuck out of here. And you know, like the mom at the diner and the way that he just kills his own mom of just like shooting her up into the sky and then dropping her and just letting her drop to her death. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
And then immediately there's an airplane coming, and then it's just like, I'm gonna kill all these people too.
Yeah.
So it's great. I just love the horror aspect of this movie as well. And it actually got a resurgence from the audience, because this is like a sleeper hit. Because like when it first came out, people didn't really care about it, but then like it got a cult following afterwards. So it just turned out to be like a really great time. And I would say that it's a buy just for the horror aspect of it.
Yeah.
So like, and again, like if you really like a gritty, darker superhero portrayal of a character, definitely watch this. It's kind of like with like dark comedies and stuff.
It falls outside the realm of like officially licensed like characters too,
right?
Where
because like you can change everything but keep the specific character intact.
Because like there's only so much that they can legally do.
Yeah,
like,
they can change everything about the character.
Most creators or most producers or most writers, when it comes to changing the story of a character that's already pre-established, there's a lot of tricky lines you have to go through in terms of like copyright, in terms of like respect to the original creators and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with this, it's like they somehow managed to do it in a way where it's like it's Superman.
Yeah.
The character is Superman.
Right.
But it's legally distinct, so that they can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I liked Man of Steel, just because it was a different take on Superman.
But that's still Superman,
right?
Though.
No, I'm not talking about like how dark and gritty it is, because like everybody goes like, oh my god, like Superman is not supposed to do this, blah blah. It's a different take on Superman. Shut the fuck up.
Well, that's Zack Snyder fans. So
right. So, but yeah, I'd say that it's a buy. So, but moving on to suggested people here.
Yeah.
Unless we got anything else to mention. So what we do is that we'll go into IMDb and, given our ratings, we'll talk about 1-10, sometimes bold star review on IMDb, and then see what other people have to say about the movie. So, and how did you guys feel about the movie? Let us know. Very interested in seeing if you guys watched it, how you guys liked it, what you guys thought of it. Let us know. For this, I decided to do a 1-star review saying the worst movie of 2019.
Well, let's see what they got to say.
So, everything you need to know about this movie can be seen in the trailer. Don't waste your money. I wanted to walk out after only 30 minutes because everything was so poorly written and performed. I'd rather rewatch the entire series of Jimmy Neutron than this movie. But Jimmy Neutron's a banger, though. And are you comparing this to Jimmy Neutron?
What kind of argument is that?
Yeah. So that just made no sense. But I will admit, like, watching the trailer, sure, like that's just how trailers are. Get everything from the movie.
Any trailer that's like in the past like 10, 15 years is going to do that nowadays.
Yeah. And then we'll do this one because this one actually looks a little more interesting. Barely Scorches. Predictable, pretty, unoriginal, subpar effects, and generally just an annoying what-if story. It may be worth a single watch someday when you're medicated or trapped in a paralytic state.
Paralytic.
Yeah, paralytic state where you can't change the channel, but certainly not worth $12 admission or even a $3.99 rental. But
I mean, I didn't pay for this, so
yeah, it was free on Netflix, so. And I already paid for it earlier, so it doesn't matter to me.
I mean, it was fine.
Yeah,
it was good. I mean, I wouldn't like personally
have it on a rotation,
but I'd watch it again if it showed up. I'd show this to other people.
Yeah, it's like, hey, like I like, especially for me, if somebody asked me like, hey, what would you recommend for like a dark, gritty superhero movie? It's like Brightburn. If you like Superman, watch Brightburn. And it's all like, it's produced by James Gunn, so if you like Guardians of the Galaxy or you liked any of his other stuff that he's done, like definitely watch this because it's darker, gritty take on Superman. Yeah. So. Or watch Injustice or read the comic of Injustice or something. So, but anyhow, anything else on Brightburn before we get the hell out of here?
Nope. We covered it basically.
Cool. So, but yeah, this has been Brightburn. Again,
bit of a shorter one this time.
Yeah, a little
bit. Definitely grateful after what was the last one we just did?
Last one was Predator Badlands.
Yeah, that one was a little bit longer. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, again, thank you everybody so much for, tuning in, watching us, listening, how you guys are doing it. We really appreciate you being here. Really appreciate it even more if you were to subscribe to all the good stuff, follow us on all the social media stuff. Again, comment what you guys want us to talk about, and we'll probably put it on the list. So, and, we'll see you guys next week. So, bye.
Bye.